Welcome to 3. Plastic surgery on that well-known face of yours. Then, 2. I'd have to pay for fixing aids along the route you're to take. And hell, exclaimed Danak, if you're worried about my being able to pay, here's 25 grand for a starter. He reached into his breast pocket and tossed a packet of greenbacks into the attorney's lap. And remember, there's more than 100 grand where that came from. It's all safe and snug under the floor of the Ideal Shoe Repair Shop, just a few blocks from here. He hiccuped. Then, loosening his tongue with another drink of whiskey, he rambled on, yeah, I own the Ideal Shoe Repair Shop. The old shoemaker who's supposed to own it is just a stooge for me. He learned cobbling in the penitentiary. Does he know the money's there? Ha, not much. Old Fred Miller's too dumb to ever know anything important. All he knows is that I sometimes used the joint for business meetings with Horton and the boys. I always sent Miller out with enough money to get drunk on. Other times he sleeps there. I chased him out tonight, figuring that me and you might take a walk over there after a while and settle our deal. Mere slits now, the criminal lawyer's greedy eyes flashed from the money to Danak. Camberton thought fast. How much money would it be worth to risk disbarment, perhaps prison, if anything went wrong in smuggling his client out of the United States? The problem caused a frown to crease his round bland face. Like a flash an easy solution suggested itself. He leered sinisterly at Danak. Startled, the fugitive reached for his gun, but the lawyer, with a speed surprising in one so fat and flabby, whipped out his own pistol and fired before the other could take aim. Public enemy number 1 toppled from the chair, a bullet in his head. With a deep breath of satisfaction, inhaling a whiff of gunpowder smoke, Camberton noted that his victim's lifeless hand still held a revolver. It would make the story of self-defense more dramatic. He arose, hurriedly put the packet of greenbacks in the wall safe, leaving the door open, cleared away the whiskey and glasses, and then picked up the telephone, the one connected with the hotel switchboard. Send for the police, he said calmly. I've just shot a burglar. He looks like Tony Danak. Police officers, reporters, and hotel employees crowding into the suite a few moments later heard his thrilling narrative of how, upon returning from a stroll, he had caught Danak in the act of ransacking the wall safe. He rushed at me, his gun leveled at my heart. But I was quicker on the trigger. Ever see him before? Asked a police sergeant. Never. My guess as to his identity was based on press pictures I've seen. Gosh, Mr. Camberton, blurted one of the reporters. You'll get the $25,000 reward. That's so. I hadn't thought of it. I was merely trying to protect my life and property. I'll agree that perhaps I do deserve some reward for having rid society of a dangerous killer. Highly pleased with himself, the lawyer then posed for innumerable newspaper photographs. He posed pointing his gun at the camera, pointing his finger at the wall safe, shaking hands with the sergeant, shaking hands with the hotel manager, with bellhops, with chambermaids, with almost everyone excepting his dead victim. He obliged the cameraman, willingly refusing only the request of one who wanted him to stand with one foot resting on the corpse, in the manner of a big game hunter. This, the attorney declared, would be beneath his dignity. Not until the dark hour just before the dawn was he left alone. Excitedly he turned the leaves of his telephone directory, seeking the address of the Ideal Shoe Repair Shop. Here it was, 692 Elwell Court. Less than 4 blocks away. He patted the revolvers in his pockets, took an electric torch from his bureau, put on his hat and went out, leaving the building by a rear stairway. Although only a few blocks from the brightly lighted corner of Clark and Broadway, Elwell Court was a shabby little side street of dismal, frame shanties. Bleakest of these was number 692 with shoe repairing, crudely lettered on the glass of the front door. It was hardly a place you would suspect of being the depository of $100,000 in cash. Camberton, however, was confident that he would find this sum. He knew his crooks and had correctly judged Danak as the simpleton that he was. The fool hadn't even put a modern lock on the door. Camberton's skeleton key opened it easily. Inside, he observed that the weakened rays of a distant street lamp penetrated the grimy front windows just enough to cast a dim and eerie light, blocked out here and there by machinery and furnishings which cast grotesque and misleading shadows. Feeling his way, he stepped forward. His shin encountered something in the dark, something that sprang through the air with a hissing, spitting sound. 2 yellow eyes glared balefully at him. He flashed his torch at it and cursed under his. 4 will be continued.